Thank you. Please join me in honoring this year's outstanding philanthropic family, Michelle and Stan Rosen. Thank you. Thank you. Would you like me to take it for you?
So to be clear, my husband was a Nordstrom shoe salesman. They called him shoe dogs. That's where he gets his love of shoes. It's so nice to be here. On behalf of our family, we are extremely honored to accept this award. We especially want to thank all of our friends. Yes, some of them did come today, and especially our philanthropic partners who are in this room. We really appreciate your work. From an early age, we both were taught that we do not live on this planet alone. We are a small part of a larger community, and we are mandated to take care of one another. We are truly the beneficiaries of our parents' and grandparents' perspective and values, and we are the trustees of this legacy that now belongs to our beautiful children, Mimi, Nate, Leslie, Anna, and Jack. My maternal grandfather, Louis Sensiper, escaped Riga, Latvia at the age of 15. He stole his way onto a boat, was processed at Ellis Island, and immigrated to Poughkeepsie, New York.
You can see I need a publicist pretty badly. My paternal grandfather, Avraham Roginski, also AKA Albert Rosen, also came to Ellis Island and then was processed. Then he came to Seattle to join his sister, who was a member of the Raffi family, which you may know if you're a skier.
My grandpa in Poughkeepsie made a life for himself, owning an automobile repair shop, marrying and raising 2 kids. He, with the help of the New York educational system, was able to send my mom to that part of Cornell University that was a state school, and my uncle to MIT on a New York State scholarship.
My grandfather, Pop, loved his new country. He came to Seattle. He first worked driving a livery and picked up immigrants from the train station, and then realized that their suitcases needed some help, and he invented a patent which made suitcases more durable, and he created Durabelt luggage, and he too was able to send his son, my father, Herb Rosen, to the University of Washington.
My dad, also from Poughkeepsie, met my mom after service as a submarine officer out of Dutch Harbor during the Second World War. They settled in Los Angeles. I grew up in LA, and I was lucky enough to experience unprecedented opportunities and freedoms. I had the luxury to be educated in a great public school system and access to a fine university, UC Berkeley.
Yeah. My dad, too, served in the military as a lieutenant and was part of the Normandy invasion. And like Michelle, I had access to a very good educational system, having gone to Mercer Island Bellevue School District's Bellevue Community College, which is now Bellevue College, and then to the University of Washington.
Seamlessly integrated into both of our families' lives was the idea of communal responsibility. Not for 1 minute did our parents or our grandparents take for granted the privileges of living in a free and prosperous community. The privilege and the right to vote was embedded in my early psyche. I remember, you have to remember, my grandpa grew up in a place where he had no freedoms or rights, let alone the right to vote. Now, Election Day was a big deal. I know we just completed one. It was a big deal in my life. My family house was a polling place. Truly, it was old school. My grandma cooked for the workers, and my mom counted the votes. And we knew exactly who the candidates were and what the critical issues were. When I came to Seattle, to grad school here at the U, these lessons were deepened and solidified. And I was mentored by some of the finest individuals. On the volunteer side, of course, my dear sweet father-in-law, Herb Rosen, who could read a financial statement and teach anyone how to read a budget. I was also mentored by Sam Strom, Francine Loeb, Lucy Pruzan, and Herman Sarkowski, who gave me my first opportunity on a big board. And my friend Marilee Leitner of blessed memory said, working in volunteer life and philanthropic life is like a dance. You need both sides. You need the philanthropic professional and you need the volunteer. And I've worked with some wonderful, wonderful professionals. To mention a few, and only a few, the remarkable Danny Bridge, Marilee Leitner of blessed memory, Barbara Madwell, Barry Gorin, who we worked early on with, and Galit Ezekiel.
So also growing up for me was an education as well in philanthropy. I remember when my dad was recovering from a near fatal heart attack, and we were sitting in the living room, and I was just a kid, and Leo Oken from the Jewish Community Center was talking to him about being part of the building of this Mercer Island Jewish Community Center, and he took on the chairmanship or co-chairmanship of that campaign. And that was just the beginning. So I had a lot of lessons along the way. And one thing Justin said earlier, which is interesting a little bit, going back to my dad, is I think he had a feeling like the more philanthropy you did, the longer you were going to live. So maybe that's our secret here. And but it's proved true too that if the studies are done that people who give back actually live longer and are healthier. So you better sell that one because that's a good one. Today we celebrate this day with you, and Advancement Northwest promotes this idea of caring for each other, and that's a wonderful sentiment. And I'm going to hearken back to what the chair of the tribe said, which is it's not giving, it's sharing, which I'd never heard before, and I found that to be a wonderful sentiment. In Hebrew, we say Kol Yisrael Avrachem Zelazeh, which you wouldn't know if I messed it up anyway. But most, which generally translates to the following: each one of us is responsible one for the other. Thank you for honoring us. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a wonderful organization, and we're thrilled that we were able to have this honor. Thank you.